Hi guys, Paulo here. This is my storage when I keep all my books that I will be reading. Um, I have four Billy cases downstairs, and so the remaining books stay here. There are another four, and we have back here another one, and this one I keep the books I've read or if I found the last the books I've read this year, so I can in the end count and so on. So I'm not making a great review, but yeah, you've already seen my review of Terms of Enlistment, The Lost Starship. I believe I've made a review of Uzumaki, great horror manga. Okay, very beautiful, very big, 700 pages or so. Highly advised to anyone who loves horror. Tim Curran Dead Sea, okay, and Chronicles. I've already made reviews for these ones, but now we've got some new ones. I'm going to talk about 2 or 3 novels per video, just very short reviews. Okay, first one is going to be, let's start with horror, not by order. Clive Barker, Book of Blood. This is 3 novels in one, okay, 3 series, if you say, 160 pages per story. For anthology. Each anthology has 4 tales, okay, so no, 6 tales, and so 18 stories overall. The first 6 I've read a couple of years ago, and I really love them. These 2, the second and third volume, I didn't enjoy at all, and to me it was very disappointing because I really love Clive Barker, and so I was very disappointed to reading the second volume and the third volume. I cannot honestly give it my seal of approval, since I've gave it a rate of 1 and 2, I believe, in Goodreads, so imagine 3, 4, okay, so not my choice. Roadwork, already reviewed. So let's start with these 2. Merkabah Rider. This is the first novel of Edward Erdlach series. Okay, this is an anthology of 4 stories, and it's very, very, very good. I really enjoy it. It was very interesting to enter the Jewish mythos, if you will, because there are a lot of Jewish traditions and folklore that I didn't knew. My country is a Christian country, although I not consider myself a Christian, but I know a little bit about angels, the demons, and the Old and the New Testament and so on. And so it was very interesting to read this because it has some folklore I didn't knew, and it was very interesting to see the difference between old Jewish and New Jewish, the difference between the Orthodox and so on. It made me search the internet for that, and to me that's the most valuable aspect of a book. It's to make me want to read more about something. Like it talk about some Jewish words I didn't knew, so I had to search it. The mystic orders behind the Jewish faith, the old Jewish faith, and so it was interesting to see that. And it's a mix of weird Western and a mix of Cthulhu, Lucifer kind of vibe, but very Cthulhuesque, and these stories give us an insight what to come in the next three books, because there is something behind the scenes, and so it was very interesting to see each monster, each story for stories have a monster of the week, if you will, but then overall it's a good development character story, and very very how do you say, very give some vibes, interesting vibes, and then each story, which is very interesting, had a little drawing. So highly advise anyone to read this one. The next one I've read, that's a horror story. It was Vampire Hunter D, The Mysterious Island of the North, no, Mysterious Journey to the North Sea, Part 1. This was my last book of May, and it was very good because I bought all of the 30 novels that exist of Vampire Hunter, but I've been reading one or two per year, but I have these last 3 years I have not read anything, because the last two I didn't enjoy at all, and so I was a bit afraid to go in back. But I have books, so, and they are a short read, and I like to read them in between great novels. In this case, I read it in between this one, Decipher. So it was very good. It has more vibe of the first one, which I enjoyed. The traveling of the D to the North Sea, and as he tries to give some bid, I don't know how you say in English. It's B-A-A-D, bid, jewel, I believe it's some kind of jewel, to a girl, and in between she hires him to protect her from some beings that want to steal her. And apart from that story, which is nothing new in this kind of series, it's more interesting was we got to learn more about the Vampire Hunter D past, and backstory. Okay, how the vampires conquer the world. They don't give much spoilers, but we get the glimpse of that and how they prosper, and then they disappear, and we don't know why. Probably the next novels more are going to be said about this. This is a series I can advise to anyone who likes Weird West, and so I believe I give it a 7. And the last two books I'm going to speak now, the remaining ones will be on the next video. Sorry, not movie, because I'm not a filmmaker. It was the two first novels on the Splatter Western. I've got them all. Okay. The first one is called The Magpie Coffin, and the second one is called Hunger of the Griswold Trail. They are very interesting short novellas stories, because we have more than 120 pages, so they are considered novels, but they are very short. Okay, you can read it in 2 days, like I've read, and usually I read around 50 pages per day. But in these two books, I remember reading them in 2 days, the first one, and the next one 3 days. They are very fast paced. Mainly the first one, The Magpie Coffin, is very fast paced. You start in the action and you never leave the action, and it's a very interesting tale. They are not connected, although in the Hunger of Griswold Trail we have got some glimpse of the Dust, the third novel. Okay, there are a character that appears there very briefly, and it connects to the third novel. maybe there was some hidden hack here, but I didn't catch it because it was my first. I didn't thought they were connected, and although they were in the same zone area, but not the same time. The first one is 1875, and the second was I believe in 63. Yeah, 69. But maybe they are connected somehow. The first one is about a man who cannot be killed by guns as he trails around the the the, the area, killing anyone and everyone that has killed his mentor, master, and so on. But he doesn't kill just because of the sake of it. He has some honor or some beliefs behind it, and it was very interesting to see that. Even he saved someone because, okay, I've killed that person, so you are saved. And one very good information was that before killing, he always wanted to know more about the story of that person. It was very good on that scale. It was a revenge kind of story. The second one, okay, it's like a monster of the week kind of novel. It's a monster that has been terrorizing a place, and a mystic kind of person is that hunts these monsters everywhere, from Paris to Europe, and Paris is in Europe, and in America, and he's trying to save the town from. Okay. Yeah. Those two books, should I advise it? So far I would say no, but I've got them all. Maybe the next ones are better. I believe the problem, to me, it was the same problem that I've got with novellas. Sometimes you don't get to develop the characters and stories so much because you are very constrained with the size, if you will. Although they are 170 pages, the letter is very big, so maybe that's it. But overall, okay, so far I would say, wait, let me read Dust, which is the third novel, and I will say a little more about if I would advise this series. Okay, next